Hello everyone, this is Priyanka. Welcome to my channel Priyanka's IT School. Today I will be talking about again same page object model. So in the last session we have discussed that how we can implement page object model using bilocator technique. Today it is time to understand what is PageFactory and how exactly we can use this class to implement our page object model. So technically PageFactory, it is a class provided by Selenium WebDriver and that support page object design pattern. Absolutely, it is a design pattern used in Selenium for web automation testing. So basically PageFactory simplifies the process of creating web pages, or we can say page objects, and technically it is a class. So absolutely it is following some certain annotation, okay, to implement or to create our page objects. So basically PageFactory class, it use find by annotation. Okay, there is one annotation available which is called find by annotation to create page objects, and all the elements are actually get initialized using init elements method. Okay, so there is one method available, init elements method. So we'll be using this init element method to initialize the web element, and find by annotation which we are going to use to locate that web element. So absolutely it is optimized version for page object in Selenium WebDriver, and which follows separation technique to handle object repository as well as test cases. So it allow annotations, build up a set of web element, same thing, find element and init elements method. So how exactly that find by annotation will work? Let's understand. So basically, what is the benefit of page object, right? Or this page factory? Yes, we have already discussed the basics of page object in the previous session, but now it is time to understand the benefits of page factory. Guys, absolutely page factory includes reduce code duplication. It will help you to improve the code readability, as well as it will help you to improve test maintenance also. By creating page objects using page factory, automation engineers can focus on the logic of their entire test rather than implementation detail of the web element, right? So absolutely this can help you to reduce errors and make the automation code more maintainable over a time. So page factory is one of the very powerful automation, I will say, design pattern that simplify process of creating page objects in Selenium WebDriver. And yes, page factory elements or any web elements, if you really want to identify it, yes, absolutely we are using find by annotation over there. So technically what is a find by? Find by annotation, it is again a powerful feature of Selenium in page factory. So that is actually used to help or identify any web element. Absolutely, while identification of the web element, you need locators, right? So these are the locator, all the 8 locator which is supported in Selenium. We are able to map web element of the web page to the field in the page object using this annotation. What is init elements? As I mentioned, init elements will help you to initialize that object. So absolutely guys, this is a method which is used to initialize that web element. So whenever we declare init elements, technically it is a static method guys. So whenever you write page factory dot init elements, you guys are able to access it because it is a static method. And whenever you call this, you need to pass 2 parameter into it, right? First is a WebDriver instance and the second is your page object instance. For which page? Whatever the page object you are designing, the page object instance you need to pass. So absolutely it scan page object for any field that are annotated with this find by annotation and initialize them with the reference of or reference to corresponding web element on that page. So let's have understand how exactly we can technically implement the same. So if you remember, in the last session we have discussed about SwagLab application and the techniques that we followed a simple bilocator technique. Today I will be showing you with the page factory. So already the project is ready. So I'll do what? I'll create again 2 different packages. So here it is with respect to page factory. So I'm just creating separate packages. In your case, you can create a separate, the page object also or separate project also. So example, com.swaglabs, let me write PageFactory dot pages. Okay, and I will be creating another package com.swaglabs dot, again I'm writing page factory dot test cases. Yes, and let's see how we can implement the same. So first of all, where is our application? Guys, you need to follow this application, right? Where you can see standard user is a username, secret sauce is a password, right? So I will be following the same application, and let's see how we can automate or how we are able to design our page object using page factory class. So very first under pages, I will be creating my pages, right? So let's create a normal Java class. Let's say this is for login page. I'm just writing login page under this package. So if you remember, we have discussed few rules, right? Whenever we design any page object, for every page class, you have to follow encapsulation principle, right? Encapsulation, where you can make your data as a private data, and you can method. Your methods will be always public method. So basically, encapsulation, it is a wrapping of data and function together, correct? So very first, what I need to start, suppose I will be writing private WebDriver driver. Okay, let's import Selenium, WebDriver interface from Selenium package. Then absolutely we need to initialize this driver, right? Current driver is not initialized. So second step, I will be initialized. Okay, I will be initialized driver. How to initialize the driver? For this initialization part, right? Yes, for this initialize part, just a minute. Yes, for this initialization part, what we need? We need constructor. So let me just write login page constructor. And yes, absolutely it should be public. Here we can accept driver from base class, because you are going to launch your browser inside a base class, right? So I'm just calling driver from the base class, and same driver we are going to assign to this instance variable. So absolutely we'll be writing this dot driver, it is equal to driver, right? This is what we have seen in the last session. But now it is time to understand how you can apply find by annotation to identify your elements. So absolutely you're just writing find by. Okay, you have to just write this annotation find by, and when you apply this, okay, here it will ask you which element, okay, which element we are going to interact using which locator. So absolutely, suppose first I want to interact with username. Just to right click, if you are using selector hub, just go for selector hub and check it out. What elements, what locators are there. So you can see I'm getting ID, right? There are different arguments or locator you can observe here, but I will be taking ID. ID is the most common one. And then here we need to write, okay, ID is equal to, and then I will be writing that particular username. So first of all, your locator name, it is equal to its value. And then this complete find by annotation will help you to identify that web element. So absolutely, if it is a single web element, you need to write web element, right? Or I will be just writing here, this is what, this is username, that's it. What is web element? It is an interface in Selenium. You have to import the same from Selenium. As I mentioned, find by, it is a class, or technically it is an annotation. So you have to import it again from Selenium. So it is one of the annotation, some guidance, some rule provided by the Selenium guys. So here you can see I have identified my first element, username. Now I would like to test or identify password. Again, I will go to the selector hub and let me check. Again, there is a ID. So I will write find by. You have to write same thing. ID is equal to what? Inside a double quote, just give the value. And then I'm writing, this is my web element and this is a password, right? Second web element. You can keep this information as a private, doesn't matter, right? So as your data, every data you can maintain as a private data. Now just have a look. I'm just taking ID again for button, login button, and let me write. This is find by. Again, I will be writing here ID, it is equal to, this is the ID and this is our button. So currently this is what? This is L button, login button. Okay. So I have identified that these three elements. Let me make it private. All three web elements I'm writing as a private web elements as per the rule of the page object. Now it is time to discuss how to create a actions or methods. So guys, I'm writing my first method. So absolutely it is for login. So let's write public void, let's say do login, or I will just write here verify login, right? So when I say verify login, in that case, I will simple take a data from the user. So string username and string password. So if you remember, when we write by locator technique, we need to use driver dot find element. That's a method. But here, now you are using PageFactory. So in PageFactory, whenever you identify your web element directly, you are not passing it. You are not passing through the driver dot find element method. No, just take, okay, the first element, that is my username. So I'll be writing username dot what. Here I can directly follow the technique or action. So on this element, what exactly I'm trying to do? I'm trying to enter some username. So I'm just using here send keys, and I'm passing here username, correct? Second, I want to interact with password, so password dot send keys, and here I will be writing that particular data which I will be taking from the user. And then I have written L button dot what? Yes, I would like to pass, or L button dot I would like to just perform click. So here comes, just observe the difference. The last verify login method where we have written driver dot find element, and then we have taken that by locator and then we have performed the action. But whenever you implement your logic using PageFactory, you can directly interact with that web element, guys. So here you don't need to use driver dot find element or any find elements method. Okay, if you are creating any general method, example public void, let's say verify title. I will say verify title. In that case, absolutely we can write the methods which are coming from the WebDriver, driver dot get title, and here you can even return this, or you can just do what? Just define this string title which is actual title, correct? And here we can apply certain validation also. So absolutely apply assert dot assert true, take it from testng this method, and here you can write that whatever actual title it is, okay, let me write actual title it is, it should contains what? So current page title should contains labs, swag labs, right? So I'm just writing labs. If there is a labs, title will match, otherwise title not matched, correct? This we have discussed in the bilocator technique also. So whenever your assertion get passed, the next line whatever it is, it will execute. So here I'm writing if it is passed, I should get the result title is matched. And even if you really want to print that title, just print actual title, correct? So this is how you can prepare your test cases. Even here also we can apply assertion. Assert dot assert true. If you remember, after successfully login into SwagLab application, we are navigating to a simple inventory page. So here I can write driver dot, here I can write driver dot get current URL, and that current URL should contains what? Inventory. So here I can write direct assertion on that current URL after clicking on that button. So if login successful, then only you are able to reach to that inventory page. Otherwise you will get a message login failed. So I'm just writing some message here. If it is pass, I should get a message that login completed. So I'm writing login completed, done. And guys, currently I have prepared my two test cases. I mean two method, correct? But as I mentioned, in PageFactory, find by annotation will help you to identify the elements. But initialization is also important here. So for initialization purpose, we need to call init element method. And in that method, we need to pass our driver as well as current class instance variable. or I will say current class complete reference, not exactly variable, but current class reference also we need to pass. So as I mentioned previously, how exactly init elements will use. So here for identification purpose, we are passing WebDriver as well as page object instance. So for that page object instance, let's see how we can call this method. And absolutely, initialization part, it is a completely concept of constructor. So I will be writing here, okay? Here I'm basically calling that init element method. So let me write init elements method. You need to call here. How you can call? So absolutely, it is a static method for PageFactory. So just write PageFactory class name dot, and there come init elements method, where we can pass a complete driver as well as we can pass our page object reference. So I will be taking this first method. Very first I'm passing driver, and at the second argument I'm passing current page, reference. So for current page reference I'm just writing this. So please understand what is the meaning of this complete statement, right? So this statement initialize page element so that you can work directly on that element, guys, without getting any null pointer exception. If you don't write this, and if you try to call any method from this class in your test case, you will get null pointer exception. And for that reason, this statement is important since the page object has been initialized implicitly. So this is important to call that web elements or initialize that web element. For that reason, you have to add this statement inside your constructor itself. Now my page object is ready. Login page is ready for this factory package. What is the next step? Very first, I will go to the test cases. I will create my base class now. So here I will be writing base test, where we can use annotations. We can set up, okay, I don't need a main function, but we can set up our, the preconditions and the post conditions inside a base test. So here I will be declaring WebDriver as a public driver, right? So let me write WebDriver driver as a public driver. Let me import WebDriver. If it is not giving you any option, save it, and then you will able to see this option just to import. Okay. Here I will be creating first annotation before test. Before test, every annotation along with the method. Let me write setup method. This is just we are doing browser setup. And every annotation you have to import from the same package testng.annotations. So here better I will keep asterisk, so it will not ask you again to import, right? And then I will be writing here driver is equal to new Chrome driver. Let me take Chrome driver, guys. So I will be importing Chrome driver now. Yes, just set up here the timeout implicit wait. So I will be writing driver dot manage dot timeouts dot implicitly wait duration of seconds, and let's apply 10 seconds. And then I will be opening this application. So very first we need to start with main page login page, and I will write here, correct? But if you remember, I have already discussed few things. Like whenever you design any page object, it is a good practice to create inside the base class. Why it is so? See, if you are creating multiple methods, multiple test cases in your test case class, right? Then in every method or in every test case, whenever you try to call any method from the page object, it will ask you, okay, to import, or it will ask you to again and again create an object for that same page. So instead of creating object for a same page in every test case, better we can create object here. Public, I will be writing login page LP. But at this moment it will ask you login page from which package. Guys, try to import from the PageFactory. Okay, currently we are looking for PageFactory. Done. And my base test is ready. Here, let me do one thing. If we have already taken base test in same test cases package also, right? So you have to check the package name and accordingly you have to import, because I have taken same name, right? Fine. So my base test for now it is ready. Let me create test cases. So I will just create testng class. First test case for a page factory pattern. Let's see. Login page test. Okay. Page factory pf. Let me write just PageFactory, and here I will verify, okay, title. First verify title and then I will verify login. So guys, let me design two test cases. So here you can see verify title and verify login test. Okay. So guys, let's see. I want this test case to be execute first. So I will be writing priority, correct? Let's set up priority is equal to 1. Here I will be writing priority, it is equal to 2. Okay, great. But as I mentioned, whatever driver you want to call, whatever page object you want to call, everything it is available in under base test. So here you have to apply inheritance principle. Acquiring properties of one class into another class, that is called inheritance. So here login page test PF extends everything from the base test, correct? But at this moment, base test, it is taking from C PageFactory. Are you getting this point? It is taking directly from the PageFactory. Now, what is the next step to do? In base test, I have already created object for login page. So here in the test case, we are going to validate that. So I will be just calling login page dot what? Let's say verify title. And here I will be writing login page dot what? Verify login. Your test data, you can pass it here, username and the password. Let's take it from the official website. So first of all, standard user is the username, and I will be taking this secret sauce as a password, and let me apply it here. Done. Save it. At this moment, my test case is ready. Correct? Let's see how it is working. Whether it is working fine as per our expectation. So you can directly use this option also, run all, and here you are able to see the result. So at this moment you can see it will definitely launch a browser, it will open the application, but see the problem. I'm getting something here, right? Some failure. So application got launched, even we are able to see that page, right? But where exactly it got failed? Let's have a look. So guys, again here I'm getting null pointer exception. So just have a look why the null pointer exception we are getting. So currently it is saying that LP is null, absolutely, because which step we have missed? Everything we have written correctly, but here we need to initialize our object. LP is equal to new login page. And then guys, you are passing here driver, correct? So at this moment, save your every page. See, because here the constructor get called and then only it will initialize your object. So yes, anyhow, you have to update this, and yes, you have to save it. Now let me run again my same test case, and you can just observe. So guys, whenever you see any exception, try to read that properly, and according to that, you can make the changes, right? And now you can see absolutely fine. I'm able to log in. And here you can see I'm navigating to that next page, inventory. Perfect. Now what is the next thing? After login, I would like to show you the second page, how you will design and how you guys are able to interlink two pages together. Based on that, you can design your complete, page object for entire application. So let me create here second page. Again, guys, just have a look. I'm creating class inventory, right? Page, and absolutely it is our page object. So as per the same rule, I will be writing first of all private WebDriver driver. Okay, let's import WebDriver from Selenium package. Now guys, initially just initialize this driver using public constructor. So I'm creating here inventory page constructor, and let me write here I'm taking driver instance WebDriver driver, and then apply it to the current driver. So this dot driver is equal to driver. Along with this, if you remember, we are using PageFactory. So call init elements method here. How to call? As I just now discussed, we have PageFactory class dot. There is a init elements method where you can pass first a reference as a driver, and second reference is your page object instance. For that, I will be taking this. See, this is very magical keyword, right? We have already seen it in Java. So what is this? This will help you to initialize the object Basically, current class object, you are able to refer with the help of this. So whenever you initialize your object, absolutely this is pointing to the same object, and that's the reason. Here I'm taking current page class instance using this. Okay, great. My constructor is ready. Now let's start with locators part. How exactly you can write? Same thing, find by, right? Okay, which locator you are trying to identify now? At this moment, guys, first of all, as per your scenario, you can identify the elements, you can identify the locators. So let me first complete the login process and then I'll discuss about the scenarios. So suppose username, password, and if I do enter, see on this page, first of all, I would like to capture number of products available. Somewhere you can print the details of the product and somewhere you can add a product to the cart. These are the main functionalities. There are many things you can prepare, but let me show you in this way. So if I right click on any element and let me check the DOM hierarchy for that element. So currently this inventory item name available here and it's only highlighting one element. But what we need to do, we need to identify its parent. So when you go to up, you will be able to identify the parent. So currently you can see I'm getting that div and this class is nothing but the parent element. So I will be starting with div attribute name. Class is a simple attribute. Div is a tag name and class is a attribute name. And here I am writing, that entire value in a single quote. So one of one element match. But under this, I need all the product which has started with this particular class. So here I can capture the name also and here I can capture the count of the product also. So under this, I will again write div. Just go to the same class and see. If you just notice, I'm getting total element match, total 6 element. So guys, current XPath, it is not returning a single web element. So I will be writing XPath is equal to this. Yeah, absolutely fine. But current find by annotation will help you to identify this web element. But currently it is not a single web element. Whenever it is not a single web element, it is returning you list of web elements. So you can declare the same. Here I will write list of web elements, right? List of web elements and there you can write the list. So this is what total. I'm writing total product. Okay, done. So what is list? Let's understand. Here, let me write it properly. Find by. First import find by annotation from the Selenium. Let me save it and see. Imports from Selenium. Web element is interface that you can import from the Selenium. And let me again save it and see. Still it is not giving. Let me import list first, which is from Java. And then let's try to import web element. Yes, you can see. So everything is same, only what element you are able to observe, right? It is it returning single element or multiple. Based on that, apply find by annotation. Okay, great. Then what else I want? See, whenever I click on any element, I mean any product, I would like to click on this button too, right? So here I will locate this button. And currently you can see we have a class name, even we have a name, we have a ID also. Let me take this ID. And then guys, I will apply here. Second element again, find by. Just have a look. ID is equal to, in a single quote, I'm writing this ID. Okay, just take value. Now this will return you single web element. So just declare, okay, this is what? This is add button. Okay, this is add button, add to cart button, correct? And this is how you can maintain. Now at this moment, let me write in the proper format and save it. Done. Next element is what? When you click or when you add it to the cart, suppose you want to validate or you want to simple check the cart also. So here we need to click on that cart option, right? Just to launch a cart page. So here you can see what I can take. Currently I'm having this class. Even you can see there is a ID also available for this element. So I will be taking this ID and let me write. Again, find by. Let me write ID is equal to. Here you can pass your ID. Just pass that particular value and guys, just have a look. This is also web element and this is a cart. Okay, so now it is time to understand our methods, nothing but actions. So first thing, verify, let me write verify product count. Okay, here I can test number of products available on that web page. So absolutely in inventory page we are expecting total product should be 6. So I will be directly writing now. I'm having the variable total product. So let me just take the same total product dot. Okay. Okay, at this moment just have a look. Now whatever total product you are having, it is completely list of web element. At this moment, we are just trying to capture its size, right? So when you apply dot, you can access all the method coming from the list interface which is available in Java. Just to get total number of elements, I will be writing size method. Size method return us integer value. So let's say this is a count, and here I can apply assertion. Assert dot assert equal. Okay, I will be writing assert equal. Let me write directly method. Assert equal. Done. And I will be writing that count. Count should match with what? Count should match with 6. If there are total 6 products available, so the accurate count it will be, otherwise product count is wrong. So I'm just writing here fail message, product count is wrong. So whenever your test will fail, you will see this message. But if product count is correct, in that case you will get this message. So I'll be writing total products are, total products are, and there I will be writing that particular count. So whenever count is correct, you will able to see that count. This is my first test case. My second test case, let's say verify product details. Okay, great. Verify product details. So let me just test the number of products available and the details. So absolutely we have total product as a completely list of web element, and just to print the total product detail, I will be writing here, okay, product details are, and here you can see how the exactly process it is. Already we have a list of web element, so I will directly apply here for loop. Can I use for each loop? Absolutely fine. I will write it's a web element I colon, and I'm just passing here total product. Let me write properly total product. Okay, so here basically we are trying to iterate every product, and I would like to print only text of that product. So here I will be writing sysout statement, just print what? I dot get text. Whatever number of products it is, just capture a text of that every product. That's it. Let me design my third test case. Okay, add product to cart. Yes, how you can add a product to the cart? So absolutely we need certain product data. So I'm writing here p name, correct? Yes, p name. And then here we can write that whole process. So again guys, I would like to iterate the entire product list. Then I'm looking for this product. When I found, I would like to click on that add to cart button. Correct, that is a process. So we need to open it, and then we'll be trying to click on this add to cart button. Okay, this is the main part. So let's see how we can do that. Again, I will like to iterate. So yes, take a for each loop. So find, just write web element and just to iterate. So absolutely, current element is completely list of web elements. So I'm just writing web element of that object name. And here I'm writing the same variable, total product. Okay. What I need to do, I need to apply the if condition. If I dot get text, if it is matching with that same product guys, so I will be writing contains method. Contains what? Same product name, whatever user has passed. Then I would like to click on it so that it will open. So I'm writing I dot click. And after that, absolutely, when I found a product, I should not go to next, right? So we can apply break. So break will just, it will come outside that for loop. And after this, the product is selected, I mean the page is open. Then I would like to click on add to cart button. Here I'm writing that step, right? So where is what button we have for add to cart? If you observe, I have written that element as a add button, correct? So I'm just writing add button dot click. And this is the main beauty for PageFactory. Okay. So whenever you click on that thing, the product will be added into cart. So let me write the message. Product added to the cart, right? See, product added to the cart, and if you really want to check it out which product is added, just write here p name also. So it will print in the output, right? This is the product got added. And suppose after clicking on this step, if you really want to launch cart page also, so guys, I will create another method. Let's see. Public void launch cart page. Yeah. And how we can do that? Just do one thing, cart.click. Cart.click will open that page directly. So you will simple navigate to cart page. So I will say user navigated to cart page. Correct? To cart page. That's it. So these are the different methods which I have designed. For which page? Login page? No, for inventory page. Let's save it. And then you can copy this. What is the next step? Come to the base test case. Here first of all we will create an object. So yes, this time I will be initializing also. So I need to write IP is equal to new inventory page, and there I am passing this driver. But you need to import inventory page from the PageFactory. Okay. So I will be importing from the PageFactory, and now you can see the process is clear, right? You can observe inventory page we have designed this way, right? Then we have created our test case also. The inventory test is also ready. I mean the page is ready and I have created an object in the base. Now it is time to create a test case separately. So let me create test.ng test case, and here I'm writing the same. Okay, we need to create a test case. So I will right click, again use the first option, create test.ng class, and let me write inventory test page factory. As I mentioned previously, whatever your test cases are, just set up properly the, use inheritance principle. Before that, let me write priority is equal to 1, and suppose I will be starting with verify. Let me just write verify product count, right? That's my first test case. And guys, this is how I will be testing some other test cases too. So 4 test cases I will be preparing. Okay. First is to verify product count. Second is to verify product details. Third is to add a product into cart. So verify product or verify add to cart. Then I will be writing the last test case, which is to verify cart page launch. That's it. And let me set up the priority. This should 4. Yes, this should be third priority. This should be second priority. And inheritance, yes, absolutely. Everything is available in the base test. So just, extend everything from the base test. The base test, which is again coming from the PageFactory. So guys, absolutely our, the object is ready over there. So you can just call a method ip dot what? Ip dot, now here I will test what? Total product count. So I'm just calling this method. In second test case, where we are trying to print everything, so I'm just writing ip dot yes product details, yes, and then whatever product you want to add to the cart, here you can add that method. So I'm writing ip dot yes add to cart, but which product? Just give a name. So currently I'm taking this name. Okay, and let me add it here. Just remove the space. We need only name of that product. And at the end, guys, I would like to launch cart page also. So I'm writing here just the verify method. Okay, launch cart page. That's the method we have designed, and save it. But there is a one more thing. Okay, why you are getting error here? Because in base test, save your base test. When you save every page, every test case, error will come. But now the biggest challenge, as I mentioned, inventory page. Whenever we start, again it will start from the first step. It will launch your browser, it will launch your application. But after that, before inventory test case execution, I would like to set up one precondition. That is what? Do login. So absolutely, I am creating here before class annotation. So before class, and this is my page setup. Okay, this is my page setup. So let me just write page setup, and under page setup, let me import before class from the test.ng again, and here I'm writing lp dot verify login. So you need to pass username and password here. Okay, so I will do one thing. Already we have written under login page test. Same test data I will use. Yes, copy, and I will just do update it here. That's it. So this is the page setup which is done. So absolutely whenever you run this test case, what will happen? It will first go to the base test. Under base test, it will create an object, it will initialize the browser, it will initialize your application, open it, and after that, it will initialize the object for this inventory page, login page, right? And then automatically here we have written call everything. Very first it will call the login functionality, then it will call everything from that inventory page. And now let's see how exactly it is working. So at this moment, if I go to the test case and if I just to run it, let's see whether it is completing execution as per our expectation, and absolutely fine. But at this moment, I have created two different test cases, right? So better I will do what? I will create a complete suite. So how to create a suite in TestNG? Just use this option, convert to TestNG. And here, suppose I'm taking, this is what factory XML, right? So I'm just writing factory XML. And guys, let me click on next. Select the classes and do click on finish, and just observe what the changes I will be making in this XML. So absolutely I don't need to run my base class. And at a time I would like to run all two different test cases separately. So I'm creating two tests, right? In first test case I want login. So I don't want this inventory test case execution. And in the second test case, I don't want login. I want only test case execution for this inventory page. So here I can update. This is my login page test, right? This is my inventory page test, inventory page test, right? So currently you can see my suite is ready and two test cases independently available. So in login, whatever number of test cases we have written, in inventory, whatever number of test cases we have written, according to that, you will able to notice your final result. So let me run this. Absolutely save it and then try to run it. So run as testng suite and let's see all the test cases executed properly or not. Now here something got failed, right? I'm able to log in, but many time application got open. I think it is because of the annotation mistake. Let me check, let me stop the execution. And why we are getting double this time, okay? So first of all, I will go to this page classes. Let me go to the base test also. Yeah, can you see that? By default, I'm getting this. So let me remove. This is the problem, okay? Save my base test. Before test annotation, I'm getting again and again. And I'll do one thing. I will set up after test also. Public, let me write public void. It's a tear down, okay, tear down method. And here I will be writing driver dot quit. Okay, done. But let me save it, because by mistakenly if there is an annotation before method, then it will try to launch your browser multiple time, right? So at this moment, let me again run my original XML. So I hope this time, yes, definitely everything is okay. Now let's try to run, save it, and let's try to run our factory. One more time, see. So I'm expecting it should open first login. It should open our application, it should launch and do login, yes, completed. And for second, it should perform all four, perfect. And here you can see that I'm getting complete result. Total 6 test cases and 6 were executed successfully and it is passed. And this is how guys you can implement PageFactory in this particular, the page object model. I hope this video helped you a lot. So go for it and try to understand the flow and the process. And yes, do complete your automation, with respect to PageFactory. So thank you for watching this video. Thanks a lot.